Last week, millions of users woke up to find their access to America's top AI, Claude Fable 5, completely cut off. This global ban revealed the fragility of relying on a centralized server. When a company or government pulls the plug, your entire workflow stops. Just 4 days after the blackout, a Japanese team released a direct response. They call it Sakana Fugu. To understand its potential, you have to look at how it is built. Claude is a single superbrain. You ask a question, and one large model does the thinking. Fugu is a multi-agent swarm. When you give Fugu a prompt, you aren't talking to one model. You are handing a task to a manager. That manager pulls together a team of specialized models and APIs, delegating the work across them. The name they chose is descriptive. In Japan, Fugu is the pufferfish, a delicacy that is toxic if mishandled. It requires a licensed chef, specialized training, and total precision to prepare. The software operates on the same logic. It offers immense analytical power and bypasses export controls, but it demands a technical, high-friction setup process before you can access that logic. This forces a specific choice between the frictionless, polished experience of a standalone brain and the distributed, high-logic output of a multi-agent team. If you use Claude, the workflow is effortless. You open a clean web app, type your request into a text box, and receive an answer. Fugu demands a higher initial investment. There is no consumer-friendly website. Instead, you are met with a blank terminal screen and a command line. The installation requires 3 specific commands. You manually enter an API key, install the backend dependencies, and execute the launch script. That workspace is called Codex. If Fugu is the manager, Codex is the digital desk where it performs its work, providing a more navigable interface once the terminal setup is finished. Because Fugu operates locally and pings various open-source models, there is no central server for a government to block. That command line setup is the price of admission. You trade 10 minutes of configuration for a decentralized tool that operates outside standard platform restrictions. This matrix maps our 5 tests by logic quality against aesthetic polish. In the interactive website challenge, Claude leads, building a visually impressive interface with storybook aesthetics. Fugu lacks visual polish and feels clunky, even though its copywriting is remarkably sharp and full of personality. This exposes a core limitation of the swarm architecture. When multiple agents collaborate, it is difficult to maintain a singular, tightly unified artistic vision. But in the UI redesign test, the dynamic flips. Fugu acts as a structural consultant, generating a deep critique of visual hierarchy and accessibility standards before delivering a functional, real-time prototype. Standalone models hold the advantage when you need consumer-facing polish. Multi-agent systems take over when the task demands critical iteration on structure. To find the functional ceiling of Sakana Fugu, we ran an equity research war room test on a listed corporation. The requirements are deep. The AI must extract financials, construct a robust bull case, counter it with a skeptical bear case, and synthesize those into a final investment verdict. This diagram shows how Fugu Swarm handles complexity. The manager splits the task among an analyst, bull, bear, fact-checker, and judge. The models actively debate and cross-verify. Conversely, a single-brain model processes all conflicting viewpoints in one pass, dropping details or hallucinating data under pressure. Fugu's output is an interactive dashboard. If you adjust the share price using the scenario slider, the entire financial model and the final verdict recalculate in real time. By investing in the API costs and setup, you acquire an automated team that compresses days of human analytical labor into minutes with a significantly lower error rate. This decision tree maps the choice based on your primary workflow. Selecting an AI now requires matching the architecture to your specific workload constraints. Follow the path for front-end creatives, the designers, marketers, and hobbyists. If your goal is visual design, rapid ideation, or generating polished drafts with no friction, sticking with a standalone architecture like Claude is the right move. Now look at the path for process optimizers, data analysts, researchers, and solo entrepreneurs. For financial modeling, structural critique, or complex logic trees, single models have hit a functional ceiling. They struggle to effectively argue with their own conclusions. If your work relies on strict accuracy over aesthetics, moving to a multi-agent system is necessary. This returns us to the pufferfish metaphor. When prepared correctly, the raw, intimidating fish is transformed into a highly refined professional product. The software follows that pattern. Working through a terminal setup is the investment required to reach a tier of error-resistant, professional-grade research. Mastering decentralized orchestrators also provides a layer of workflow independence, ensuring your output cannot be switched off by platform outages or government bans. Success in this landscape requires moving beyond simple prompting and learning how to manage a digital team.